Hi, my name is Capriotti, and I'm a sophomore in the business school majoring in finance and accounting. I obviously came here as a freshman, didn't really know what I wanted to do specifically, but I became friends with some upperclassmen, one person named Haley Walker, who's very involved with Psaros Center. And she introduced me to the FMQ conference, which I then emailed Andrew because I thought it was a really interesting opportunity. I wanted to volunteer, I wanted to help out, and kind of see what was going on backstage when you're bringing all these, super famous people like Jamie Dimon. And so I emailed Andrew, he reached out, and I went to the introductory meeting where I was tasked with certain roles during it. And so then I went to the FMQ conference. I helped out. I was just on registration most of the time, but really enjoyed that, kind of seeing the behind the scenes. And then after that, obviously the Psaros Center, they have events that go on throughout the year. So I went to the Psaros Center Welcome Back event in January, which I had the opportunity to learn about the FinPolicy track. And I thought the opportunity to go to DC for a couple days, learn about the legislation side, and then go see the effects of that in New York a couple days later was just such an amazing opportunity that made me want to apply. And so then I applied for the FinPolicy track and had the opportunity to go on it last year. There were so many amazing things that I could talk about during the track. I think for me, the thing that stood out the most is I think it was Wednesday during the week, and we were at the SEC, and we had the opportunity to speak with the chair of the SEC, Paul Atkins. And just in and of itself, like that's crazy because I think it was one of his first days on the job. Obviously, he's a super busy guy, very important. He was taking 20 minutes out of his day to meet with us. But I thought the best part of that is right as he got into the room, he stood up, he walked around, he shook all of our hands, he learned our names. And I thought that really left kind of like a meaningful impression on me because this guy's taking the time out of his day to speak with us. And then he's actually taking the time to show that he really cares about us and wants to learn about us and our experiences at Georgetown. And then after that, we were able to talk to him about private markets and how the SEC is responding to that. So overall, it's just such an amazing experience to speak with Paul Atkins and really to like get to know him on a personal level as well. I think the FinPolicy trek, what I really learned from most of the people that we met was that just like take advantage of all the opportunities you have, whether that's at Georgetown or just going forward. Obviously, Georgetown has such unique experiences that you can engage in, whether that's the FMQ conference, whether that's a panel throughout the year, or like if you're interested in consulting, checking out consulting or sales and trading, not really limiting yourself to one space. And so I think just hearing from people that we spoke to, they really emphasize like you get 4 years at Georgetown, make the most out of that, go to as many events as possible, take advantage of those opportunities, learn something new, even if you don't think you're interested in it. And so I think, going forward at Georgetown, I really want to make sure I have an emphasis on that and like putting myself in places that I might be uncomfortable, but where I'm going to learn a lot. And then at the same time, just going forward into my career, like being willing to pivot, change career paths, learn about something, and really take the time to explore other interests that I have in fields. So obviously with the Psaros Center, I'm going to stay involved the next 3 years on campus. I'm considering on doing some research with the Psaros Center because one of my friends did that last year and he said it was a great experience. So hopefully doing that this year. But then also just volunteering at the FMQ conference and then other events throughout the year. But I think like the biggest role that I've taken on is really just like promoting the Psaros Center to freshmen that I know or other people in my grade. I think the Psaros Center has such amazing events, and not everyone knows about them. And so I want to really spread the word like there are opportunities to get involved, to meet with people from CNBC, and help plan these events that are so huge. And so I think going forward, I want to remain involved with the Psaros Center, like I said, volunteering, but then at the same time, making sure that I'm promoting it to the people around me and that they can get engaged in as well, because it's not something that you want to just leave out for your friends who don't know what's going on. And I think it's such an amazing opportunity that just deserves to be spread.